Hi Shrikant and Mithun, welcome to today's session. Today will be our first session with respect to BW ABAP. As part of this session, we will see a couple of basic ABAP programs or syntaxes which will help you to understand the ABAP as a programming language. To start with, we'll start with features of ABAP program and ABAP editor. Then we will try to understand the other operators and syntaxes. Okay. So, whenever we try to learn any programming language, before we go in depth with respect to that programming language, right, we have to understand something like the features of that particular programming language and editor, right? Let us understand that first. So, this is my blog, which oneweb.blogspot.com. I have not having that point in the slide. So, let us go there. So, coming to features of ABAP program, okay? So the syntax of ABAP is similar to COBOL. When they started implementing a language of ABAP, right, during the late early 90s or late 80s, they referred most of the syntaxes from COBOL programming language. Clear? And if somebody is really aware of COBOL, they can easily correlate, but should be fine. It is not necessary or prerequisite for us to learn COBOL. Okay? And ABAP statement and keywords are case insensitive. The next point.
Okay.
Mean to say, whether you write a code in uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter. Okay. We have some
Okay.
option called pretty printer using which we can convert everything into uppercase or everything into lowercase. Clear? Now, custom ABAP program must start with Y or Z and can be up to 30 character in length. So it is like your custom BW object has to start with Y or Z, right? Like that, even ABAP object also has to start with Y or Z and come up to different number of character based on the object which you are creating. Clear?
Okay.
ABAP is case sensitive during comparison. Here I am saying ABAP is case insensitive, which is statement and keyword, whereas during the comparison I am saying case sensitive. Mean to say, when you are trying to compare lowercase x with the uppercase x, it is treating that as a different value. Okay, or uppercase US01 with the lowercase US01, uppercase Mithun with the lowercase Mithun. Those will be treated as different value, not the same during the comparison. Okay, when you're trying to check a value stored in a variable or a particular column of a table, then even the case also exact match. Otherwise, it will throw as not matching. Clear?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So every above statement and expression must end with full stop. So I believe both of you from technical background, like you did your engineering or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, is it a computer science or a different branch?
I'm from electronics background, BTech electronics.
Okay.
And I did MCA, Masters in Computer
No
Application.
worries, but we might have learned our C programming in our first year, right? Wherein,
Uh,
if you remember, every C pro expression in C program has to end with sorry, semicolon, and
Semicolon.
in Java also it has to end with semicolon, right? Like that in ABAP it has to end with a full stop. What does it indicate? It will indicate that end of the current expression, anything after full stop will be treated as next expression. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
and then the next statement is token within a statement must be separated by at least a single space. Mean to say, if you are writing a select single star between select and single, there should be at least one space. Clear?
Okay.
We cannot write a code without giving any space because even we as a human being cannot understand without any space. Obviously, the system or compiler will not be able to interpret that. Correct?
Yes.
So the next topic is coming to features of ABAP editor. So the ABAP editor is similar to Notepad. All the operation which you can do in Notepad, a shortcut will also be applicable. Like Control C for copy, Control V for paste, Control X for cut, and Control S for save. Okay,
Okay.
and you can also use application toolbars buttons to activate or check the syntax or to toggle between display mode or change mode, or you can use control plus F1, F2 and F3 to display or change or checking the syntax or to activate program respectively. Clear? And there are something called comments in every programming language. Okay, so what are comments? Comments are similar to your metadata. These are just you will be writing in plain English or any language for that matter. So it will be skipped by the compiler during the runtime. Okay, it is just for you have given some additional info so that if somebody comes and see that logic, you are explaining what exactly the logic which we have implemented there. Clear?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's just that you are giving more information in that program to the other developer or to yourself whenever you wanted to come and visit back again. So you will get to know the changes has been done as part of which project or which support ticket or which change request. Clear?
Yes.
Any doubts so far, guys?
No.
Great.
No, Bino.
So let us move on. Like any other programming language, right? Even ABAP also has its own supported data types. Okay. Like to declare a variable, internal table, work area, it has like all these data types will define what type of data a particular column or a field can store. Like your when you create an info object in BW, right? In the drop down you have character, string, date, time, and all those values, right? So
Yes.
likewise, exactly same data type also you can see over here in ABAP also. Okay, because since it's an
Okay.
SAP system, predominantly it is almost or exactly the same. Clear? So
Yes.
let us see how can you make use of these operators and create a variable and start learning a few of the basic ABAP programs. Okay.
Okay.
So we will be using SC38 transaction code predominantly to learn our fundamentals. In the SC38, we will use something called executable programs. Okay, SC38 is predominantly used by core ABAPers to create their ABAP report, either ALV report or classical ABAP reports. But we are unknowingly learning that part of that, not fully, but that will help you for you to write a piece of code and test validate it. Okay, even in future also after completion of the training during your real time also you can make use of these just to implement a logic what you are supposed to implement in your routine or function module or wherever, and you can easily test because these are executable programs. Implement a logic and execute, you will see the output. Okay, same logic you can copy paste anywhere.
Okay.
So let us get into the system. Oh, sorry, I was speaking on mute. So, we are using executable program because these are independent objects. Okay, and there is
Okay.
no dependency while executing. If it is a include program, it has to associate it with the executable program. That's the reason we are going with executable program. Clear? Only these two fields are mandatory fields. Rest are optional. If you wish, you can fill it. Otherwise, also you can skip it. But adding any of the additional info will not impact the functionality. It will just give more information as a metadata. Okay. Coming to the status, you can choose any of the program option which is suitable for this program. I am going to choose test program. Application business information warehouse. Authorization group. If you have a authorization group given by SAP, you can enter that or search from F4. Logical database again. This will be used by HR ABAPers. Selection screen. If there is a selection screen, like your big selection screen, ABAP report can also have their own selection screen. If they have a selection screen, the number will be populated here automatically. And coming to editor lock, by default, you see it is not checked. Ideally, it is recommended not to check this checkbox. Why? Because if you check this, nobody else apart from this particular user can edit the program. Obviously, we all will be working in different projects. So if we, for example, if you move to different project or if you are on leave, nobody else apart from my user ID can edit this. Got it? That's the
Okay.
reason we recommend not to check this. But even if you check, they can follow, go to change mode and change this from the attribute or at the table level, they can change. But just to avoid inconvenience, it is recommended not to check this checkbox. Okay.
Okay.
Come to the Unicode check active. See, by default, it is enabled. Correct? And fixed
Mm.
point arithmetic, you see by default enabled, it will just add all the libraries. Coming back to Unicode check active, what you guys are having close to 6-7 years of experience, right? Have you guys ever worked or seen SAP R3 4.6C or BW 3.x system?
Yeah, BW 3.6.
BW 3.x we have seen.
Great. So all those older version of the BW are yeah, ECC, right? Older version of ECC is SAP 4.6C, okay?
Yeah.
R3. So all those systems were not Unicode compatible. It was supporting only ANSI characters. Okay.
Mm.
So what is Unicode? Even any language which has its own script in the word has its own Unicode associated with it. For example, in Kerala, whatever the language character you have, right, it can be represented digitally using Unicode because every character of regional languages or any language in the world which is recognized and which has its own script, right, has its own Unicode associated with it. Got it? That's the reason we can see the message in our phone or website content in our regional language like Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, got it? Or even Japanese, Chinese.
Yeah.
Because ASCII was having limited data set, we cannot represent all the thing. That's the reason uh, the industry come up with Unicode standard. So SAP was not supporting Unicode earlier. In the latest version, it was started supporting Unicode so that you can configure your SAP system even to work in regional languages. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the reason there is an explicit checkbox, correct? If SAP has come up during 2021 or 2010, they launched the new project means obviously by default everything will be Unicode, but most of the SAP customer were existing customer, right? They have to give explicit checkbox so that they will go and enable this checkbox. Got it?
Yeah.
This is the manual activity. If they had 10,000 program, they have to go and change to open all those 10,000 program and enable this checkbox. There is no automation given by SAP. Got it? This
Yeah.
is to ensure it will throw what all the program which are Unicode not enabled and also get to know when they open the program, they will get to know whether it is a productive program or they can just ignore and delete that. Right? So
Yes.
that's the use. And start using a variant if it is a ALV report or ABAP report. By default, if there is a variant, a default variant, it will execute with that. So any doubts in this? Since it's a very first program, we went in detail. Just wanted to tell you guys this one. This one, attribute and the title and type is mandatory. Rest are optional. Okay. So now click
Okay.
on save. When you click on save, pop-up window appear. Choose your respective package. If you want to save it in a package and move across the landscape, you'll choose as a local object. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So now, since we have created a executable program, you see report followed by report name is coming. Okay, these are a report which we are learning, ABAP reports specifically. Now, in every programming language, the first program what we will learn print some message to user, correct?
Mm.
If you see here, I'm just printing welcome to SAP BW app. In case of C, you will be using printf command. In case of Java, you will use system.out.ln. In case of again our Python, we will be using print command, right? Like that. In our ABAP, we will be using write command. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So now check the syntax. You can use the same button as similar to your the RSA one. You have the same buttons in the application toolbar. This is the button to check the syntax. Syntax is correct. Next, and also you see the object is inactive or revised. You have to activate. The object become active now. You can just execute now. What it is printing? Welcome to SAP BW app. Message to the screen or the user. Any doubts in this, guys?
After write, it's like colon is needed, right? After MVQ.
Colon is not needed actually. You can remove these two also. Okay, it will print the output. What is the use of colon? You will understand in a few moments. Colon is we will implement to ensure if at all you wanted to print welcome to SAP BW app, comma something else, comma a value contained in the variable. In that case, colon needed. Why? Because I am applying write functionality to all the things separated by comma. Okay. And what is the use of forward slash? It will print in a new line. When I
Yeah.
start
Okay.
printing this line, right, it will start with a new line. Got it?
Okay.
So, any doubts in this? And see, I am removing the full stop at the end. Check the syntax. In ABAP, you will get the error will be more similar to the most common language, how we speak between us, right? It will be plain English. See, it is clearly pointing to line number 3. Last statement is incomplete. It also says period missing means full stop is missing. We have to keep the full stop. Got it?
Yes.
Any doubts in this, guys?
No.
So if we are having multiple lines, each line we need to put the full stop or
Yes, you see the first line there's a full stop, second line there's a full stop. What full stop will tell to the compiler, right? Full stop will tell this the end of this line. Anything after full stop is you are starting a new line, and whenever it come across one more full stop, that expression will end. Got it?
okay.
It is mandatory in ABAP.
One doubt.
Go
That's
ahead, please.
that report space is it when underscore. Where did that came? That report name, technical name
This is
came.
the automatically it generated by the system because we created a executable program, correct? The first
Okay.
line of the executable program is this because we are unknowingly learning part of ABAP reports. The ABAP core ABAP consultant will create their own report, right? Like how we create our BEX report, core ABAPer will create something called ABAP reports. We are doing that actually to learn our basics.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever it is executable program, it is a report. That's the reason the first line is report followed by report name or program name.
Okay. The program name will. We cannot give that program report name, right?
We have given the report name. When we enter the program name and click on create, right? That's the same name which is appearing here.
Okay.
This
Fine.
and this are exactly same. Okay.
Okay.
So now let us go back. We were discussing on different types of data type, right? Let us see each of those with different kind of example. And you don't have to worry if something is not covered immediately because as and when the time comes, we'll be declaring each of those. Okay.
Okay.
So now, just now what we declared, we printed a value, hard-coded value, correct? Let us see how to declare a variable which is of type string, and we will assign this hard-coded value to the string, then try to print a content of that variable. Okay. Data is the keyword which is used to declare a variable. Okay. So data followed by variable name type string. Okay. I'm declaring a variable. The variable name is lv underscore message, which is of type string. Clear?
Okay.
Now what I'm going to do, I'm just hard coding the value. I'm initializing the value now. This variable was blank when I declared. Now I am loading or storing this hard coded value to this variable. Got it?
Okay.
Now
Okay.
in my write command, earlier I was printing hard coded value. Now we are trying to print value stored in this variable. See the output? It's exactly same, but now we are printing the content of variable, not the hard-coded value. Got it? Directly. What's the use of this? Why I am showing you write command? Because see, when we write a code in generic extractor, we can directly see our output in RSA3 or PSA level, correct? Or when you are
Yeah.
writing a logic in your routine, you can trigger the data load using DTP and see the output in your target info provider's active data table or new data table, correct?
Yes.
For us to
Yes.
learn, we are we are supposed to learn only this, but write command will help us to ensure to see the output in to see the content of a variable in an output, so that we can be very sure whatever the logic which you have written is correct. In BW we cannot use write command inside a function module or routine and all. We are just using this to learn or ensure whatever we are writing is working as expected. After writing a business logic, we will just validate. This will help us to learn or see the content of our variables or the output. Got it? Assume that
Yes.
there is any business logic to be implemented. You just come to SE38 and implement the business logic, and at the end, you see what is the input which you are passing, and you just use write command to print what is the output of that value. Got it?
Yes.
Great. So now we saw how to declare a, let us see the output again. Welcome to SAP BW app. So we declared a variable which is of type string, correct? There is
Yes.
also a variable which is of type character, integer, date and all. Let us see character. To declare a variable which is of type character, we will just use C. Okay? C means character, string means string. See the output?
Hmm.
It is printing only W. What does it mean?
Only one character.
Only one care.
Yes, there is no error or nothing of that sort. Earlier, when we were using string, entire thing was storing. Now, when we have declared this as a character, only W is getting stored in this variable. Means my variable can hold maximum one character in it. Got it? When it is C. But there could be a case where you have to specify the length, correct? To specify the length, there are two options we can do. At the end, you can specify length, whatever the length. Now, your variable is of type character and which is of length 10. It can store up to 10 character.
30.
Got it?
Yeah.
Or for company code, you will specify as 4. For country key, you will specify as 2. For language, you can specify as 2. And other way of declaring the length is after variable name within small bracket, you specify the length. Both are one and the same. Either you add at the end length 30 or here after the variable without giving any space in a small braces 30. Got it?
Yeah. Is there a difference between the
Both.
data
Both are
string and
exactly same.
I mean the data type string and type C?
See,
String
string
and
by default, it will create with a length of the underlying operating system which is installed, okay? Which will be predominantly up to 255 character in general string.
okay.
Whereas character by default, it is of one length. If you want to specify the length explicitly, you can specify using either length keyword or in the small braces. For string, you won't be able to specify the length. By default, it will take the standard length of underlying operating system or the SAP version. Clear?
Yes.
Great. Now, let us move on and try to create a new program. See, let us try to understand arithmetic operators. So, arithmetic operator will be used to perform arithmetic operation, right? Such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, finding out remainder of division operation and all, right? So
Yes.
these operators are similar in all the programming language. You can use plus for performing addition, minus for subtraction, star for multiplication, forward slash for division, and mod for finding out the remainder. Okay, we'll see this in detail. And the syntax is generally LHS is equal to RHS. Anything which is there in the left hand side, value for this will be assigned based on the right hand side operation. Here, variable 1, operator variable 2. Your operator can be any of these, plus, minus, star, forward slash, or mod. Clear?
Yes.
So let us go to the system and see. Now, data LV type I. See, now we are declaring a variable which is of type integer. Okay. So if you see, I have declared around 6 variable, number 1 and number 2, which is of type integer, which will hold our input data, and based on that we are going to calculate some product division and remainder. And if you see, I have used here data keyword separately, whereas here I have used data colon, and I am declaring variable separated by comma. Both are exactly same. There is nothing like one is performance wise better than other. This will just save your time, avoid you to write a data keyword again and again. But here you are using comma, so data will be applicable for this statement also, this statement also, this statement also, because colon is there. Got it? Which is exactly same as your write command. Wherever you see colon, it is like the previous command will be applicable to everything which is separated by comma.
Okay, that's why colon is used.
Yes.
Okay.
If you remove the colon, it will throw an error.
Okay. Because of comma, we are using colon, right?
Because, yeah. So
Okay.
colon will let you to declare multiple variable separated by comma. That's it. Because what colon will do, this will be applicable to this statement also. It is exactly same as having separate data, but system will take care of that.
Okay,
For our
understood.
time saving purpose, we will be writing in this way. Or
Okay.
whichever is comfortable, you can write it. Mostly people will follow this.
Okay.
Now, let us initialize the value. Num1 is equal to 106. LV num2 is equal to 50. LV sum is equal to LV num1 plus LV num2. Correct? LV prod is equal to LV num1 star LV num2. LV division operation is equal to LV num1 divided by LV num2. LV remainder is equal to LV num1, not forward, mod LV num2. Okay, so plus is used for addition, star is for multiplication, forward slash for division, and mod operator is for finding out the remainder of this division operation. Now Ideally, we will be writing this logic, okay, in our BW, whichever the place. Either it is a routine function model based extractor and all. But we need to understand whether the logic is working fine, right? Because we are in still learning phase of ABAP, correct? So we
Yes.
can use write command. See, now I am typing sum. The hard-coded value will be printed, and also I am putting comma. Now I can print a value of that variable also. Clear?
Yeah, all right.
That's the reason colon is helpful now. Division and remainder. Clear, guys? Now check
Yes.
the output. The sum of 106 and 50 is 156. The product is 5300, and I can divide 106 by 50 two times. Like 52 is 100. Two
Yeah.
times it is dividing, and the whole remainder is 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So wherever you have option to use any of these, you can make use of these syntaxes. Very simple. For example, in your routine, you have to implement a logic to create a total value, which is multiplication of unit price and quantity to get a total price. You can just use the star operator to get that, correct? Or if you have two different amount to be summed, you just use this operator. Clear?
Yes.
So all these things will help us in our future programming. But we need to know how to use it. That's what we are learning right now. Clear?
Yes.
So we have other types of operator like conditional operator, logical operator. Okay, we'll be seeing that in a few sessions, maybe in the next sessions or so. Conditional operators are used to do the equality check or condition check. What are condition check? Either we will check whether a particular value is equal or not equal, a value is greater than other value, value is less than other value, all those things. Got it?
Yeah.
So equality check is to do the equality check, either you will use equal to or equal to symbol, not equal to any or not equal to symbol, greater than followed, less than followed by greater than. Okay, and greater than symbol or GT you can use. For greater than or equal to check, you will use GE or greater than followed by equal to symbol without any space. Less than symbol or LT. Similarly, less than or equal to either LE or less than or equal to symbol. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is predominantly used during conditional checks. Okay. And logical operator, you remember, you might have learnt as a very first subject in your computer programming or logic gate subject, or even in your PUC, you might have learnt in physics the logic gate, AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct? So it is the same principle, or else in a plain English, how you when you use AND operator, when you use OR operator, same like here also. Assume that not operator, what it will do, if the condition is true, it will make it as false. It will negate it. Okay. If it is false, it will make it is true. Clear? And operator. When you want two different condition to be checked and your logic should get executed only when both the conditions are satisfied, you will use AND. Such as if you give me salary of 15 lakh rupees and if you give a joining bonus, then only I will be willing to join. You have two conditions. They have to give you 15 lakh salary plus 1 lakh joining bonus. Then only you are saying I will be joining. Otherwise, I will be rejecting the offer. Correct?
Yes.
Or when you use or, when there are two conditions, if either of the conditions satisfied, you will have some truth condition to be executed or logic to be executed, such as if you give me package of 15 lakhs, or else if you give me 14 plus variable as 10%, then I will be joining. Correct? Two condition. 15 lakhs is the condition one. If it is true, it won't go and check the second condition. If it is false, then it will go and check if the offer which they are giving is 14 plus variable. Got it? So During those kind of multiple condition check, we'll use this operator to combine the overall result. Any doubts in this, guys?
No.
We'll see this in maybe next class, like as and when the actual scenario comes. Okay. So predominantly, as a BW ABAPer, you might have got an SID generation issue, or assume that there's an info object which is based in DSO, cube, multi-provider, and all, and there was a flow which was getting data so far, and for that info object, it is not lowercase enabled. Okay, so far it was getting values in uppercase only, and everything was fine. Now there is a new plant go live happened, and now you started getting transactional data in a lowercase also in some records, or most of the majority of the record now for that particular region or plant. So now you have two options. Either you have to change your info object and enable that to accept lowercase, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you have to ask business to do the correction in the transactional data, then you can re-extract, correct?
Yeah.
Or you have to, obviously business say like they cannot do because there are hundreds or thousands of transactional data they cannot go and maintain. They say like we are okay to sponsor a CR or an incident. You go ahead and implement a logic or do take care technically. So if it is a custom extractor, you can also implement a logic in source system side. But if it is a standard, you cannot do that, right? So the other option is come back to your info object and enable that lowercase acceptance. But again, if that info object is a master data info object and if it is used at multiple places, you cannot take risk of enabling or changing that and moving across the landscape, correct? It may
Yes.
impact multiple flows. So the other option is we can handle even at BW using routine. This can be
Oh,
achieved either using start routine, end routine, or field level routine, or even expert routine if at all it present. Okay. So how can we do that? So let us understand how to convert a value into uppercase. See, we will be taking most of the commonly used scenarios which you are aware as a BW consultant to learn the basic. Okay, so now let us
Okay.
declare a variable LV underscore name type string. Okay, LV underscore name is equal to, okay, so let us type this. I'm just printing the input value just for our reference. So now I wanted to convert value stored in this variable to uppercase. If I run the report, it will show input value and it will show the value in mixed case, correct? Now to
yes.
convert the value stored in this variable to uppercase, it is very simple. There's a command given by SAP called translate. Okay, you can use that keyword translate. What you want to translate? I wanted to translate value stored in the variable to uppercase. Okay, check the syntax. Right. Very simple. In our BW routine, if you use this particular command in your start routine, end routine, expert routine, or field level routine, it is just this line of command which will help us to convert value into uppercase. Got it?
So the translate statement will translate to uppercase and store in the same variable itself, right?
Yes. Whatever the variable content, it will convert into uppercase and the same variable will be there, the data. See, the input value was mixed case and then we converted it into uppercase. Clear? In the field level routine, we will just write only this command. That's it. If you are implementing a logic. So now assume that you have a requirement to convert something into lowercase. There could be a case where you are getting an email ID. People are entering in uppercase, mixed case, lowercase. You just want to store everything or show everything in a lowercase. Again, for that, instead of two uppercase, you can use two lowercase. So entire content of the same variable will be converted into lowercase also. You can use the translate command to convert everything into uppercase or lowercase. Any doubts in this? All good?
Yes.
Yes. Mm.
So assume that you can also see some other thing, right? This is fine, but there are cases where the data is coming with multiple spaces, something like this, correct? It is not good to
Okay.
read or good to present also if at all that report is using by IR management, right? They want you to remove leading spaces or multiple spaces and retain only one space. Got the requirement? Again, this is
Yes.
most commonly aware or come across situation in BW, right? You have multiple space in between the words. They want you to remove all the space and retain only one space. Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
So now to do that, the syntax is very simple. There's a command called condense, okay? What you want to condense? I wanted to condense a value stored in a variable lv underscore name. Very simple. Upon executing this command, if the value is in this format, it will change it to uh, condensed format. You see, the value was like this, and it condensed and removed the space, and then it is converting into uppercase, and then it is converting into lowercase. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
So, see, here in this program, we have used condense. After condense, if you want to convert it to uppercase, you use that. After that, if you want to do something else, we have to use we are combining different set of statements, correct? Likewise, even in our BW or any programming language for that matter, we'll have to use combination of statement to achieve a desired result if at all it is really needed. Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
So, do we have any option if we don't know the syntax, like translate variable to that? Any shortcut to if we are not aware of the syntax, like
If you
uh,
Google it, you will get it. You don't have to worry. Okay. And all these syntaxes you will be learning in a like see, you have to know how to read the syntax, correct?
hmm,
Because just by having a syntax will not help you to what learn the thing, right? While explaining the thing, what I'm saying you translate what you want to translate. I wanted to translate a value in this variable to uppercase or lowercase. You try to understand in that way, okay?
hmm,
So that will help you. And syntax and all, do not buy out any syntax for that matter, okay? If you Google it, you will get the syntax. Main thing is you should aware, okay, there could be some command to convert this. Or else even if you don't know also, you can just Google it, correct? For
okay,
concatenate, is there any command to concatenate in ABAP? There's a keyword called concatenate, which we'll be seeing. That is the most commonly used, right? All these commonly used operations, obviously, any programming language before they release to the public, right? They will do the groundwork and they will refer even other programming language and they will see what are the different possible operation related to string, related to numbers, related to amount field, currency conversion, all those things, right? They will try to give you a standard modules or standard operations. Otherwise, there is no use of using a language itself, right? It is lacking different features, correct? Commonly used features they have to give us. Clear?
yes,
So moving on, this also we have seen how to remove a special character just as example. If we will see in a while in the next session, I believe. So coming back to another commonly used BW scenario. Assume that you have first name, middle name, and last name in your data source, okay?
Okay.
And you have full name as your DSO field. three fields of there in a data source, and whereas only one field which will hold the full name. You wanted to concatenate value stored in three different variable value coming from three different variable of the data source to one column of your target. You have to concatenate. Venugopal N is coming, Venugopal N, you have to make it something like this. Got it? How to do that? It can be separated by comma, separated by hyphen or anything. Understood, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So, in order to achieve that, there's a keyword called concatenate. We will be using that to achieve our desired result. Got it? So, let us go back. And now we are learning only this example. Concatenate can be used to concatenate or merge the data of any more than one variable, right? In future, wherever you have a requirement, you just have to use concatenate. Assume that you have a requirement to generate a complex key, which is concatenation of company code followed by country key followed by customer number separated by hyphen. Again, you use the concatenate statement and do the same operation what we are going to do now. Okay.
Okay.
Execute all program. Click on save. Declare variables. lv underscore f name type string. lv underscore first name middle name lv full name. And always declare a variable or name variable in such a way that by looking at the variable, you should at least interpret what kind of data or what it is holding, correct?
Okay.
Don't give LV, those things. Generally, you guys won't do. But by looking at that, we should be able to understand. So maybe depends on your project, the prefix will differ, okay? Yeah, for declaring a variable in your project, they may follow, mostly they will follow LV, or else they may follow L underscore or G underscore for global variable. You just use that accordingly in your project, okay?
Okay.
String. So now LV underscore F name, I will be doing Venugopal LV underscore M name is equal to LV underscore L name. We have three different field that a value is there in three different field. I wanted to concatenate all these field into single field. So concatenate LV underscore F name. What I want to concatenate? I wanted to concatenate value of this variable LV underscore M name. I am going to tell to the compiler, or I am telling to the compiler, concatenate value stored in this, and this, and store the result into LV underscore full name. Got it?
Yeah.
Check the syntax. And during your initial days, try to check the syntax accent when you write few lines of the code, okay? You might
Okay.
mostly mistype the values. That's it. Typo error would be there, or maybe full stop missing would be there. Okay. Now let us try to print the full value. LV underscore full name. You see here, the value has been printed in a continuous form. Like the value got concatenated. We had value in three different columns. Now we are getting a value in a single column. We are printing value of this, right? So it got concatenated. Okay. But if you see, there is no separator between Venugopal first name, middle name, and last name. It is in continuous fashion. How can we introduce a separator?
Okay. Oh, okay. space.
There is a additional syntax in the concatenate which is optional. If you want, you can use it. Separated by clause. In the separated by, within single quotes, you give any character. That character will appear in your output. Just let us see the output. See, you see, it is introducing a space between first name, middle name, and last name. Got it?
Yeah.
Let us introduce comma. Got it? Or if you want a hyphen, you can introduce hyphen. Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
And at the same time, if they want you to convert into uppercase, you know how to convert into uppercase. Either after this command, you just have to use translate command lv underscore full name to upper. That's it. Understood?
Yeah.
So this is one example, but maybe we'll see one more example and stop the session. Mm, Assume that there is another way, exact opposite way also, right? You are getting first name, middle name, and last name separated by comma in a single field of your data source, but you wanted to split that three different columns, single column into three different column of your DSO target, right?
Yeah.
So how can we do that? Got it, guys?
Yes.
So now let us go back and create a copy of this program itself so that we can reuse the variables. So now okay, we have three different names. I wanted to split that into
We know one question. So, in the right statement, input colon one space of that is for giving some space between that input and the output, right?
no,
The
no, no.
printing
This is
value.
just to print. If you won't give space, nothing will give. This is a hard-coded string. Whatever you type, it will print as it is. It
Okay.
is going to print input space colon space with this. Then only it will print. If I am not giving space, it will print immediately, right? That's the reason.
Okay.
Input this space and this space is given by us.
Okay.
Okay. This is whatever within single quotes will be printed as it is. Just for our proper format purpose. For example, if you do this, I remove that space. See, it is printing like this.
Mm.
Just to have some gap to see the values I am giving. Okay. So now I wanted to split value stored in this variable. There is a command called split command, okay, to
Okay.
achieve this requirement. Split, what you want to split? I
Will
wanted to
be
split
for the
value
right.
stored in this variable and where you have to split. I wanted to split at comma. Got it? And store the result into these three variables. Got it? Understood how to read the syntax?
Okay.
I wanted to split value stored in this variable at comma into these three fields.
So that will be in this order only. It will be printing, right?
Yes,
The first.
whatever the order of column which you are giving, it will split. If you rearrange the order, anything between first comma will be populated this. Anything after first comma and before second comma will be populated to this. Anything after second comma will be populated to this.
Okay.
System won't understand. You have to give the sequence properly. LV underscore F name. First name, middle name, last. Correct. This split operation you can use whenever you have a like a complex key coming in and you wanted to split a hyphen or something like that, right? See, the input string was like this. We splitted that into three different variables. We are printing the value of that variable. I guess Mithun is printing two times. It could be our typo issue, right?
The variable.
That's a syntax
The
last name,
print,
yeah.
yeah, you have to use. Or there could be a possibility that you might be using here and here the same. So by just by looking at the output, you will get to know where would be the issue. Okay, got it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all for today. Maybe if you have, do you guys have any doubt with respect to whatever the example which you have covered so far?
No.
So all you have to do is like just go. You can just all these are simple example to learn all these basics, right? We are making use of our the scenarios which you are aware only. Okay. Slowly we will increase the complexity and we'll start learning other syntaxes also. Okay.
Okay.
That's all for today. Thank you so much and have a good one.